Leon, thank you very much for doing this. How are you, my man?
I am good, Ariel. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I'm going to ask you a very broad question. I just mentioned Masvidal, Diaz. I mentioned Covington, Usman not fighting right now. The fight's not booked. How do you feel about what's going on at the top of your weight class, considering the streak that you're on, considering how close you are to a title fight, yet it seems like everything's sort of at a stalemate here?
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the whole division now is in standby. I am ready to go. I am fit. I am healthy. So I am pushing for the Usman fight. I feel I deserve that fight. So that's where I'm at. I believe I deserve the fight. And I know the Colby fight's not happening, what I'm hearing. So I'm ready to go in December.
So you're hearing that that's now dead, that Covington Usman is a dead thing right now, and they're ready to move on.
Well, I mean, they're a stalemate. I think Colby's asking for too much money or whatever it is. And But I put my name in the hat and told him I am ready to go. I feel I deserve the shot. I'm on the second most win streak in the whole division, so um, I believe I deserve the shot next.
To the best of your knowledge, you putting that out there, you reaching out to the UFC, I understand your management has talked to them as well. Are they open to this? Are they warming up to the idea of just skipping Colby and going straight to you?
Um, they spoke to my team for November the 2nd. Then they said, the former team said, would you be ready for November the 2nd? I said yes. Um, then they gave Masvidal and Diaz fight, so I messaged them again and said I'm ready for December the 14th in Vegas. They said if Kobe fight can't get done, then I'm the next in line. So I believe that I should be I will be next in December.
You know, it's been a couple of weeks now that nothing has happened. Are you surprised that they're waiting so long? It seems like they kind of put this issue on ice. They went and did the Masvidal fight. They're trying to do DC Stipe for December. They did Holloway, but like this thing has kind of come to a screeching halt. Are you surprised that they're giving Colby such a long chance to come back to the table and not just moving on?
Yeah, exactly. I just don't understand what they're doing. They're waiting for Kobe for whatever reason. Well, I more than deserve the shot over Kobe. All it does is talk madness, and that's it. You know what I mean? I feel I've earned my title shot. Um, especially against Kamaru Usman, the last person to beat me. So I need to run that one back, and I need to get that win back.
Do you have any concern that you're being used as sort of a leverage point here, in the sense that they're saying, okay, Leon is ready and on standby, you better get your act together, because if not, we're going to skip you and go to Leon? That there's really no true intention to give you that, but because you have a legitimate streak, because you're so close to the title shot, you are a legitimate threat, so you're not really being considered, but you're more being used. Does that cross your mind at all? Does that worry you?
Um, Not really. I don't thought about that since you mentioned it now. But like I said, I believe that I deserve the next shot. I'm doing everything in my power to get the next shot. I've done everything they've asked of me, so I believe I will get the next title shot. So I'm just hoping that in December, Kamaru accept the fight and we go from there.
To the best of your knowledge, how close were you to getting the title fight at MSG? Because I heard also that they were having issues with Kamaru Usman. So, you know, Colby's being blamed for a lot of this, but he's not coming to the table as well. And it almost seems like they're working kind of behind the scenes in unison. Did you think you were close to getting it for the MSG card?
All I know is that the former team, they said, will you be ready for November the 2nd? I said, absolutely, whoever it is, and that's it. I thought it was between Masvidal or Kamaru. I said, whoever it is, I'll be ready. So that's all I know, really. I don't know how close I got to making the fight or what happened.
Okay. Do you feel like December 14th is close?
Um, Closer than November the 2nd, yeah.
Okay. All right. Have they given you a timetable? Like, you're going to find out by this time? We're going to make a decision by this time?
They said they'll give me a few weeks, and if nothing goes off, then I'm next in line. So I'm just waiting to hear back from the UFC and hear back from my team and to see what's happening. I'm staying in the gym. I'm staying ready. I could not give to who it is. Also, I feel I deserve a title shot, but you've given number one contender spot. That's even good as well. So I'm ready to go. I am fit. I am healthy. I'm young. I want to be active this year. So I'm ready to go again in December.
Who would even make sense for a number one contender spot against you at this point?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. People throwing around Woodley's name.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Um, that'd be a good name to add to my cap. But My game is my plan is to be a world champion. My aim is to be a world champion, and this is what I'm focused on is to be a world champion. I done everything they asked of me. I want a title shot.
If they do come to you and say, okay, we're going to give it to you, is like Colby and like Kamaru, is there a negotiation to be had, or are you ready to go? Like, are you all good? You're everything's agreed to. You just need the date.
No, they they don't have to pay me the right money. I want they just take pennies just to go do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like I said, I will be ready to go. Whoever, whenever, and but I will not fight for Trump change. No.
You mentioned that you're in the gym. You're staying fit. You're in shape. You're preparing. Is it hard? Is it hard to get motivated to go to the gym? Like when you don't really know, December maybe could delay to January, February. Like you don't really know what's going on. Is it hard to get motivated?
Um, some points it is, but I truly enjoy training. I enjoy helping my teammates. I enjoy helping my brother. He's getting ready for a fight in November, and I mean, I'm just enjoying the process. Like I said, I'm still young in the game. I got a lot to learn, and I'm only getting better and better. So these guys are best trying to fight me now than later on. You know what I mean? I feel I'm not even near my prime yet. So I'm enjoying training and enjoying helping my teammates out.
I know you don't love the trash talk and the theatrics and the
Yeah.
politics. Has all of this turned you off even more? Like the fact that you're stuck in this situation, you're that close, but it's the stalemate, all this. Like, has it turned you off from the game even more so than the times we talked about it in the past?
Um, it's a little bit frustrating. But what can I do, Errol? I've done everything they've asked of me. I've defeated everyone they put in front of me. Um, I just focus on what I can control and I'll just keep pushing that way. Otherwise, this game will drive me mad. It will drive you mad, you know what I mean? So, I just, like I said, I believe in myself. I believe in my team, and I just keep working, and I'll get there. I know I am one fight away. If not, like I said, I deserve a title shot now, but I will not take no fight other than title shot or number one contender spot anyway.
I know you said that MSG was on the table, and that's obviously a big deal for any fighter to fight in that venue. It ends up going to Masvidal and Diaz. Masvidal, you have the history with the incident backstage in March. To see what has become of him, to see that he's now fighting for this title that they're creating now, like out of the blue. How do you feel about all of this?
Errol, I could not give two shit. I believe it's a journeyman mentality to start creating some fake title and fake whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? Like my aim is to be a world champion. My sort of day will come. He will see when the day come, and but that's all I gotta say on that, man. But his day will come.
Are you surprised they're making this belt, that they're actually producing the BMF title?
That's a journeyman title arrow, yeah. I'm not a journeyman, so I could not give two shit. I am focused on being a world champion. I don't give a fuck about Masvidal or Diaz. They do what they want to do. I'll do what I want to do.
But just like because it's guys at 170, do you feel like that? Because historically, the baddest man on the planet or the baddest MFer is the champion, right? So the fact that another title is being created for guys in that division, do you feel like it almost waters down the actual real title?
When it's all said and done, Errol, in another 10, 20, 30 years time, no, that means nothing. That means you cannot tell your grandkids are at a BMF title. That means nothing. You know what I mean? My aim is to be a world champion. I will be a world champion. That's all that matters. You can create as much bouts as you want. That means nothing in the long run.
Hmm. Is one thing though for the fighters to create it. I'm just wondering if you're surprised the UFC is making it.
A little bit, a little bit. It's like WWE now, so nothing surprises me no more.
Yeah.
I go in there, I do my job, I get paid, and I take care of my family, and that's it.
Recently celebrated your birthday, correct?
Yeah, 28 now. Errol, getting old.
Come on, 28. Wow. What did we do? Anything special?
Nothing, not really. Nothing really. I chilled with
Nothing?
my family. Nothing. I went out and partied. That's it.
Nothing. I guess
I
28
did
isn't like a milestone of any. It's not quite 30. It's not 25.
exactly. So I just partied with my friends, chilled with my family, same shit. I didn't do much really. Um, enjoying the game, enjoying where I'm at in life, and just keep pressing on.
By the way, I'm just curious. Your brother's doing very well. Fabian, as you mentioned, he's fighting in November. As you're going through all of this, does he ever try to recruit you to say like, hey, I don't have to deal with this stuff over with those other guys? Does he ever try to do that sort of thing with you?
he tried to tell me to come over, and well, I keep telling him to come to the UFC. Uh, but like I said, he's killing it. He's young. He's so good, Arrow. He's like unbelievable. You know what I mean? I'd love to get him in the UFC and just to show show the world what he's like, put him more on a bigger stage. And but like I said, the kid is amazing, and it will be in the UFC one day.
Do you think he ends up better than you?
I hope he does. I hope he does.
Wow.
Like I said, he's my little brother. We came from the mud era. You know what I mean? So I hope he proceed. He does everything that I didn't get to do, and he earns as much money as he can, and does as best as he can in the game.
So in conclusion, you don't have a fight yet. You feel like it's close. You want Kamaru Usman, December 14th, Las Vegas. You want to fight for the belt. You want to get that rematch against him. You've earned it 8 in a row. You're the guy.
Absolutely, Arrow. I am the guy. There's no one else. It's me or Kamaru. We got the 2 longest win streak in the whole division. All these guys on 2-2 records. Just keep winning and losing. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You cannot be the baddest motherfucker, yeah. If you're on 2-2 record, it's nonsense. But I believe I am next in line, and Kamaru will be ready as well.
And by the way, what do you make of Colby referring to you as Leon Scott? Did you hear that?
It was funny, right? Because I was like, I'm on social media. I was like, who the fuck is Leon Scott? Mentioning like under my pictures like Leon Scott. So I think, where the fuck is that coming from? I saw the interview with you, and I thought, oh, fucking Kobe's a twat. He's a weird guy, and just come from different cloth, from different cloth from these people. You know what I mean? So I cannot even bring myself to think the way they think. I'm from just from a different life and different cloth from all these people.
I don't even know. Like, I understand Marty Fake Newsman. I don't really get that one. Do you? Do you think he's just calling you a different name?
He's Leon Scott. I don't know what. I don't get it. I was like, who the fuck is Leon Scott? I was like, oh, please. I thought it was like an American thing or something. I thought something to do with America. And, I don't know, Aaron. I could not give a shit. He's a weirdo. He's a weird man. I just cannot even like fucking. Is what it is.
All right. Well, we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully, we figure. I mean, they just added the second title fight on Saturday, so hopefully we get some sort of.
I mean, they're making 3 title fights on that bill, so
yeah.
Get me on the bill. We'll be perfect. It'll be good. So
Okay.
I look forward to it. I'll keep ready, and I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, thank you for doing this, Leon. I appreciate it, and happy belated birthday. Hopefully, for your sake, you get that title fight sooner rather than later.
Do you think I deserve a title shot, Arrow?
I think you 100% deserve a title shot. I do think Colby deserves it as well. I'll be 100% honest with you. I think they've got an interesting scenario. I would like them to make this fight sooner rather than later. And I said that if they do, like if they were going to make Colby versus Kamaru at MSG, I wanted them to do you versus Tyron in the co-main. This is before the whole Diaz thing came about as a number 1 contender fight, because I do think Tyron should be considered in that mix as well. I don't know what they're going to do now. I do think, I will say... Go ahead.
Tyron deserve a title shot?
Do I think what?
Do you think Woodley deserve a title shot?
No. I say you versus Woodley as a number 1 contender fight.
Oh, okay.
You versus Woodley, number 1, if they made Colby versus Usman. But I do think that Colby, all the blame is being directed to him. It's going both ways. Both guys aren't coming to the table. So I feel like that's important to note. So I'm curious, if they do come to you and say, all right, we'll give you the title shot, will he even come to the table? Will Kamaru even come to the table? That's what I fear for your sake.
Yeah, I believe it will. I can't see why not. I believe it will. I think it's more a Colby part than Usman, from what I'm hearing.
Okay. Well, it should be no more than one more. Next is totally fine, but one big fight and then you're there, or next. That's what I don't think you should be going on a 13-fight winning streak like
never,
Tony.
That would never happen. I will leave the company and go somewhere else. I'll never do that.
Right.
I'll never do 30, 40 fights and then title shot. Never.
How many fights do you have left on your deal anyway?
I believe it's 1 or 2.
Oh, so you're getting close.
I'm up for renegotiations now, but I was waiting for the right fight first before going into negotiations.
Oh, wow. So this is really important. I mean, you could, if you conceivably, keep winning and then leave if you want, if you don't feel like you're getting that fight.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm here for the bouts of the dough era. Yeah, that's it. So
yeah.
You pay me, I give you out. That's it. I'm not here to hang around and be a journeyman.
Is there a deal on the table? an extension?
I'm a, there is negotiations, but I got
Okay.
a few people I'm talking to and shit. But
All right. All right.
I want to be I want to be a UFC world champion. That's my dream, and I will be a UFC world champion.
Okay. All right. Interesting times for Leon Edwards. Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.